He didn't dare make a peep. Just then, a giant foot suddenly appeared, and the giant was clearly trying to grab the little lamb right in front of him. Jack was terrified of being discovered. He watched in horror as the giant swallowed the lamb whole. His friend nearby couldn't help but peek to see what was happening. But right at that moment, the giant suddenly caught the scent of humans. While they were still staring in confusion, to Jack's shock, the giant walked away from him, only to yank up the big tree right behind Mike. In an instant, Mike's hiding spot was exposed. Mike knew he was in trouble and fled like mad, but when he glanced back, it only took a second for the giant to pin him to the ground. Slowly, the giant crouched down. Then, through its massive pupils and the smell in its nose, it confirmed this was food. Ryan, who was nearby, didn't hesitate. He drew his long sword and rushed over to save Mike. Just as the giant was about to stand up, a sharp pain shot through its foot. It kicked Ryan away in one brutal swing. Jack could hardly believe his eyes. He watched as the giant pulled the sword out of its foot, then carried Ryan away right in front of Jack. When Jack saw the giant heading his way, he quickly dove into the water. Luckily, the rain masked his scent. After that, the giant walked right past him. As soon as the giant was gone, Jack scrambled out of the water and hurried to follow it. Before long, he reached the giant's lair. When he spotted his friends, he didn't realize Mike had already been tossed onto a flatbread. A cook sprinkled spices all over him, and the princess standing nearby froze in shock. To make things worse, the giant not only picked its nose, but also took a bite of its creation to taste it. Then the giant rolled Mike up in the flatbread and set him aside. Next up as ingredient, the princess. The cook hesitated, not sure how to prepare her. That's when Anna, the princess, spotted Jack on the ground. She knew he'd come to save her. While the giant wasn't looking, Jack snuck over to the cage, but just as he was about to open it, he realized the cage was a special container the giant had made impossible to open easily. At that moment, Jack saw his friend lying on a wooden chopping block. He rushed over, determined to save Mike. He pulled out a small knife and was about to cut through the flatbread wrapping Mike, when Mike suddenly noticed the giant walking toward them. Jack quickly handed the knife to Mike, then hid in a corner. But right then, the giant pulled out a large skewer. When Mike saw the giant was going to skewer the flatbread, and him with it, he held his breath so tight he thought he might pass out. Thankfully, he narrowly avoided disaster. Just as the giant was about to throw the flatbread into the fire to roast, Jack knew Mike couldn't hold on much longer, so he climbed up a rope. Anna had no idea what Mike was planning. After the giant left, Jack climbed to the top, staring at Mike, who was moments away from being cooked. He remembered the dagger he'd given Mike. It was time for it to work. Meanwhile, Jack snuck onto the giant's head. As the giant began chopping vegetables furiously, it suddenly reached for Anna in the cage. Just as it was about to slice off her head, Jack slowly picked up the small knife he'd brought. The second the giant raised its hand to strike, Jack threw the knife down, then jumped onto the giant's back. With that, he managed to take the giant down for good.